Last time we took a look at if-then statements, if A, then B, but today I want to look at if and only if statements. And that's what this up here means, the IFF, that's just shorthand for if and only if. Now, like with the if-then statements, we're gonna take a look at a little truth table we're gonna set up here, right? So let's make some columns, some rows, right? We're gonna have A, B, and then this is another little shorthand notation for if and only if. We put like an arrow pointing both ways saying A implies B and B implies A, right? So we're going to say that if A is true and B is true, then our statement A if and only if B, that is true, right? Now, if A is true and B is false, then we can't say A if and only if B. Like A will not imply B and B will not imply A, so we're going to say that this is false. Likewise, if our A is false and our B is true, well, we don't have the same thing going on here, so they will not imply each other. So our A, if and only if B, that's also false. Now let's look, what if they're both false, right? So if A is false and B is false, well then our A, if and only if B, is going to be true, right? Because they're both false, right? So let's think about this with like a real life example. So say I say, I will wear swim trunks if and only if I'm at the pool, right? So if I'm wearing my swim trunks and I'm at the pool, then my statement is true, right? If I'm wearing swim trunks but I'm not at the pool, then my if and only if is false, right? I said that I will only wear them if I'm at the pool, but here we have a situation where I'm not at the pool and I'm wearing my swim trunks, right? So that's why our if and only if is false. And likewise, say I'm not wearing my swim trunks, but I'm at the pool, then my if and only if statement is false because I said that if I'm at the pool, I will be wearing swim trunks. So hopefully this is like making a little bit more sense with this example here. And with our double false, right, I say I will wear my swim trunks if and only if I'm at the pool. Well, in this situation, my A is false, so I'm not wearing swim trunks, and my B is false, I'm not at the pool, right? So my if and only if holds, right? All right, that makes sense. But now let's do a math example, okay? What if I said that x is an even integer if and only if x plus 1 is an odd integer? Now this is pretty simple, but that's the point, do a simple example so we can understand a more difficult concept. So to prove these if and only if statements, what we have to do is prove them going both ways, right? So we have to say if A then B, and then prove if B then A, right? So we're going to start with if x is an even integer and show that x plus 1 is an odd integer, right? So if x is an even integer, we can say that x, oops, sorry about that. We can say that x is equal to 2a. So say x is equal to 2a, right? And we want to show that x plus 1 is an odd integer, so let's add 1 to both sides. We say x plus 1 is equal to 2a plus 1, and what do you know? That's our definition of an odd integer. So great, we just proved it going one direction, but now we have to prove it going the other direction, right? So here, let's make a little dotted line just to separate this and not confuse anybody. Now we're going to show if x plus 1 is an odd integer, then x is an even integer, right? So let's say x plus 1, right? It's an odd integer, right? So we'll say that this is equal to 2a plus 1. And we want to show that x, we want to get to x somehow, right? So let's subtract a 1 from both sides of our equation. We'll say x is equal to 2a. Oh, and what do you know? X equals 2a is our definition for being an even integer. So this is a very, very simple if and only if statement to prove. But I just wanted to show you how you do it. You go both ways. You say if A, right, so if x is even, then B, x plus 1 is odd. And we proved that right here, right? And then we did the opposite way. We said if B, so x plus 1 being odd, then A, x being even. And that's what this represents over here. So that's how we prove our if and only if statements. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you learned something.